Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our live Q&A session on the Losi Tenacity T. We are going to be answering your questions the entire time from both YouTube and Facebook. So if you're jumping on, and we'll probably talk a little bit about the truck before we go into the questions. That way we can get some good viewers. We only have like 10 of you guys because we just started. So make sure you jump on and start getting those questions in now, and we might answer some of them before we actually get to them, but it doesn't hurt to have a backlog, and we'll go from there. So, Scott, why don't you take over? Let's do another little brief intro here.
Before we get started, this is Kyle Roberts.
Yeah, that's right.
And I'm Scott Kramer.
They know us.
Just so you know. Just so you know. All right, so, well, actually, we'll go back to the very beginning. So, as you guys are familiar with, we've released the Tenacity SCT, which is a short course truck, which is kind of scale up pairing to the one-to-one short course trucks that race out there. Then we released the Tenacity MT, which was the monster truck. Again, kind of got like a scale up pairing monster truck with the big wheels jacked up kind of thing. And now we've released the Tenacity T, T standing for Truggy. For those of you who don't know what a Truggy is, basically when you get to the A-scale ranks of nitro racing and now A-scale electric racing, they have two classes. They have A-scale buggy and A-scale truggy, and this is kind of modeled off of the A-scale truggy.
Truggies are kind of a mutant between monster trucks and buggies. That kind of middle.
Yes, that's a good way to describe it. But this is like a kind of a 10-scale version of it. That's why you see the smaller tires compared to the monster truck. You've got kind of that cab 40 truggy style body, and you've got kind of a smaller version of the big A-scale wing that they have on the buggies and truggies. So, you know, this thing's a beast. That's all I can. There's no better way to describe it. 50 plus miles an hour right out of the box. We're going to be doing some speed run testing here pretty soon to see how fast we can get this going. If it looks kind of familiar, that's like all the Tenacities have been based on the 10 platform, and this is very similar to what we had with the 10MT. And for those of you who don't watch Max the Intern, we encourage you to watch Max the Intern. But there was a few episodes where we were trying to get the 10MT as fast as we could get it. He got it up to 70. Actually, I got it up to 74 miles an hour, and he finally got it 1 mile an hour faster. So this is basically, you know, the next version of that truck. It's even faster, even lighter. So it'll be interesting to see how fast we can get it.
The big kind of good reception I've read online already is, one, these wheels, which are super cool. But two, it's just a nice balanced looking truck. It looks cool. It's eye grabbing. It's something different. So that's kind of the first thing that I've seen a lot of just reading comments. So.
And as you see here, these are the two color combinations that we offer. This is pretty much the white and green. This is the black and the blue is what we're calling them. But it's just like the other Tenacities that we have. You know, we'll take the body off here. So you've got your bottom loading battery tray. Just turn it, slide your battery in. No need to take the body off. We apologize for how dirty they are, but we have so much fun driving them that every chance we can, even with all the snow we've been having, we've been taking them outside and bashing on them pretty good. So we apologize for the dirtiness. But again, 3800 kV 550 size motor, so it's not just your typical 540 size can, it's a 550, 130 amp Dynamite ESC, everything's waterproof, as you know, we found out when we're driving through all the snow and the mud and the rain that it keeps on going and comes back for more. You know, but all the same features as the other Tenacity line. What's really cool is that if you do have a Tenacity SCT or a Tenacity MT, I think it's like 80 or 90% of the parts carry over. So if you have, you know, one of the three and you have spare parts for one, 9 times out of 10, it'll bolt right onto the other vehicle. So it makes it a lot easier to keep your spare parts laying around.
Good deal. I think we already had do we have a question already from YouTube?
How comparable is it to the Losi 10MT?
The Losi 10MT. Oh, so we kind of addressed that. This is basically the next generation of the 10MT. There's a lot more thought put into the chassis design. It's a little bit easier to work on. It's lighter. It's a little bit more nimble than the 10MT. But as far as the power system goes, almost practically identical, if not identical. So just with the weight difference and a little bit Difference in the wheels and tires. This one may actually be a little bit faster than the 10MT.
Yeah, we can find that out pretty easily.
Oh yeah, yes.
We have the technology to do that.
Definitely, definitely.
Isn't your son supposed to be in school?
Yes, he is supposed to be in school. I'm not sure why he's watching
currently
this.
watching and commenting.
So Max the intern is in trouble right now. But yeah, so here's the body right here. As you see, we've got our black version, our white version. Very cool trim scheme. A little bit modern, kind of not too crazy, but pretty cool looking. And the blue one comes with the smoked blue, well, more like an anodized blue looking wheel. And this one, well, the production wheels are actually a little bit lighter than this, but they're kind of, what we call back in the day smoked chrome.
Okay.
So they'll be a little bit lighter. This is kind of one of our early test samples that we get to beat on the whole time.
And I know one thing we haven't mentioned yet that we're going to get questions on is, two things. What's the price and how soon can people get them?
Okay. Well, let's see. The price, let me double check my cheat sheet here. Yep. Street price on these are going to be $2.99.
Okay.
Or I'm sorry, they'll be $3.99. They'll be ready to hit the streets by the very end of the month. So, last week of February they should be available. And then the other thing I want to mention why I'm looking at the battery tray is that this can run on 2S or 3S.
Yes.
So you have an option there.
It's just the EC3.
Yep,
Perfect.
simple EC3 plug. So Dynamite's got a full line of standard, like 30C, 50C, and we've got standard and HV packs. So
it's a lot of fun on the 3S, I can tell you that much.
Yes.
2S is probably good fun, but when you get outdoors and you want to really throw it around, the 3S is definitely fun.
Yeah, the 3S HV definitely makes this thing really come alive.
Wakes it up.
2S, it's a blast. Don't get us wrong. I mean, 2S, you're going to go 40 miles an hour, 45 miles an hour, and 3S, you're going to go, easily over 50. So it's awesome. It's pretty awesome. We've been doing some crazy stuff. We need to get more of it on video. We've just been, pretty busy with the weather. It's kind of making it a little bit hard right now. But I think you and Max, the intern, should take these out and get some more.
Definitely. Of course, it's supposed to snow again, like all next week. But we'll see what we can put together.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely, we're expecting a bunch of snow on Sunday.
Yes.
So I think we need to get some more snow jumping videos.
Cool.
Make some big jumps. Big jumps out of snow.
Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know if you mentioned already, what's the radio system that comes with this?
Okay.
Same as the other trucks?
Yes, perfect. So same as the other Tenacities, this comes with the DX2E Active. So there's a lot of trick things about that. So first is on the top of the DX2E Active, you'll see three position switch, 1, 2, 3. And what that means is that you can actually change the throttle limit, I guess is one way of explaining it, or the speed limit. So if you have it in position 3 all the way up, it's full wick, flat out. You're getting every ounce of power out of these that you can. Okay. So if you've got someone a little bit slower or newer who wants to go slower, position 2. If you want them to go really slow, like if you've got a little kid who's just learning how to drive.
Like a training
exactly.
type.
You could put in the position 1, and then it's down to like 25 or 30 miles an hour. So it's very noticeable. It's not like, you're going to knock it down a couple miles an hour. It's a good, 10 mile an hour per switch. So really, it just, you don't have to be scared. When you see 50 plus miles an hour in the box, you don't need to be scared because you got the 3-position switch and, like my Segway here, you got ABC.
Yes.
So if you're going to 50 miles an hour and it starts getting a little, hard to control, let's say if you're new at it and you're not used to counter steering, we've got what's called ABC, which is active vehicle control, and there's actually a knob on the radio that you could turn it up or turn it down, turn it completely off, and basically what it does is it actually helps control your steering input and your throttle input. So it's almost like a driver assist in an F1 car or kind of an ABS similar type thing. Yeah. Kind of hard to explain it, but it's got all that. And then the other thing that's really cool about the Spektrum DX2E Active is that we have a speedometer that you can mount right onto the top of it, or we have the Spektrum Dashboard app that you can load to your phone, and then it mounts right on top of the radio as well. So a couple different options available. And this also comes with the FPV mount in the box.
Okay.
So any of you FPV guys out there, or if you're looking to try FPV, jump on the Tenacity product page, and there's actually a completion guide for like 3 different levels of FPV. So you could do it with the little screen, you could do it with the goggles, or the really fancy goggles.
And then you just mount it wherever you want, basically.
Correct. It's a little cage, and the camera mounts in there. You have basically a servo extension that goes from the camera to your receiver.
Okay.
Piece of cake. And like I said, on the Tenacity product page, all 3 levels are listed there with every single part that you need. So it's easy peasy, as they say.
Awesome. And then I also noticed, so this is just essentially Spektrum stuff that you would buy right at the hobby shop or online.
Correct.
Which means you can also bind up if you already have a DX5R, DX5, whatever DX6.
Yep, 6R, yep.
Drop it right in, and that
Exactly.
way you're not, stuck with controller that comes with it, even though it is like we were just talking about, a very cool controller.
It is a great controller, but like he says, what's nice about having if you have a 5R or 6R or even the 5C, is that you have multiple model memories. Mm-hmm. So if you've got all 3 Tenacities, let's say, you can program all 3 of them into the radio. You have one radio for the 3 cars. You just basically switch from model to model. And what's great about that also is that when you go to that, you do not lose your AVC, because the 5R and the 6R have the AVC built in, and you could adjust it on your radio just like the DX2.
Yeah, that's one thing I did with that Proline truck we have. I actually put the AVC switches on the C and the D trim.
Yep.
That way you can, on the fly, if you're going to hand it to someone, just click it way down, click it way up. I just turn it off, because with Bash, and you want it to be crazy. You want it to be
let
fun.
her eat.
But yeah, if you're going to have someone drive something, especially on 3S, that is those modes, those 3 modes, and then AVC will help a ton.
Definitely.
Wait,
Have any-
another YouTube question, maybe?
EC3 plug?
Yes. Come stand with an EC3 plug.
Would this be a good first car to own?
The question was, would this be a good first car? Absolutely. And I say that not as a sales pitch, but it all boils down to that 3-position switch on the radio. Yes, this goes 50 plus miles an hour out of the box, and that's one thing that we will state. Some other manufacturers put 60 plus, 50 plus, 100 plus on their box, but when you read the fine print, it's you have to add this pinion, you have to add this it's not really that speed out of the box, where ours is directly out of the box. It goes 50 plus miles an hour. But with that 3-position switch, you can go from 50 miles an hour on position 3 down to maybe 40, down to 30 when you're in position 1. So that's why it is a perfect entry-level truck, just because, okay, you're brand new, you've never driven an RC car before. Right when you take it out of the box, put it in position 1. Get used to driving, take your time, be in more control, have AVC turned all the way up.
Yep.
So it's like you're, computer assisted in a way. And then once you get used to it, if it's most car guys, that be after about 5 minutes of driving, they want to go as fast as they can.
Yes.
But it's just, you can change that position switch anytime, day or night. If it's too fast, you can back it right back down again. It takes 2 seconds to do it.
The other thing, me kind of looking at it from a first timer, center diff, correct?
Correct.
So center diff is going to help a ton. This is hard for me to say. That's going to calm the car down. It's not going to be trying to flip over, which, like Scott was just saying, after 5 minutes, yeah, you might want it to be flipping over. But it's got the 3 differentials. It's got nice, big, squishy tires. It's easy to drive, but at the same time fun, and you can make it crazy very quickly. So
Absolutely.
that's kind of looking at it from that perspective. You got a nice wing. It's got plenty of downforce. It's nice, solid plastic material. So if you do break something, it's designed to break a certain way. That way you're not destroying the entire car. That's one thing we see. I see a lot of people, they'll want aluminum everything, which is great, but something has to give.
Correct.
Something's got to break
Yeah.
if you hit a tree going 60 with just on one corner. So everything's designed to be replaced if necessary. Have we even had to replace anything on these yet, though?
No, they've been pretty foolproof.
And we were jumping it like in that video off the tree doing flips.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's one of those. It's designed to it's hobby grade. It's designed to have replacement parts, but at the same time, it's built tough. These arms look massive. I mean, the turnbuckles are big, the shocks are big.
Yep. And then if you guys follow our Losi Facebook page, you'll see that I did a 3-part series on the Tenacity SCT. So basically everything that I did on that to get it ready to race, which we did, you can do all that on here. So the shocks, like Kyle mentioned, the 3 differentials, fully adjustable. So from the factory, it just comes with standard grease in there, nice thick grease to just keep it nice and even keel. But if you wanted to adjust it like we did on the SCT, where I think it was like 6,000, 10,000, 4,000 we did for the diff oil, again, fully adjustable.
Yes.
Same thing with the shocks. If you want to go with different shock oil, piece of cake, take the shocks off, take the cap off, fill your new oil in there, put the cap back on, you're good to go. And then there are several TLR, the TLR10 option parts. Some of those bolt directly on here. So, yeah, it just, again, it's, to answer, go back to that previous question, it's absolutely a great first vehicle for you to buy. It's fully upgradable, it's fully tunable, and it's a beast. It's an absolute blast to drive.
We did have a question. Is this a ready to run?
Yes. Ready to run. Basically, it comes with the truck complete as you see it, the DX2E active radio, the FPV cage, AA batteries for the radio,
yes.
But you'll just need to provide a battery and a charger.
Yeah, and we always put recommended batteries and chargers. So if you're like on our HorizonHobby.com website looking at these, you'll see there's like a completion tab down below, and it'll have like a recommended 2S, recommended 3S, and then normally a charger. So
yeah, and what we've actually done now is we're actually doing 2. So if you go there, you'll see that, but you'll see stage 1 and stage 2. Stage 1 is kind of just the average, normal 30C battery, a simple charger. But if you go to stage 2, now we've got the 50C HV batteries. We've got the, much better charger in there. So there's a lot for you to choose from.
Good. Trying to think what else while we wait for other questions to roll in.
Check my cheat sheet here, make sure I covered everything.
Your son says you look old.
I am old. I am old, and I forgot my watch today, so I'm really unbalanced, so forgive me if I'm...
And also, while he's checking that, we have multiple lives today. We have the live on the new Ultra Stick. We have the live on the new Blade Fusion. We have the live on the Aerobatic. So You're going to see a lot of these popping up throughout the day. Keep in mind, if you jump onto this like late or any of them late, they'll try to answer everything. They might hit some of the main points 2 or 3 times, but if we miss a question at some point, don't think we didn't see it. It's just it probably got answered, and then we'll just kind of defer you to go back in the video. Normally, we're pretty good about doing that. So,
yeah, definitely.
Anything else you wanted to?
I mean, this will be the best live of the day because Surface is the best here at Horizon Hobby. So, yeah, there's one thing else I definitely want to plug. I've been plugging it for the past couple of weeks in the videos, but we're not really sure if anyone noticed it, but we'll see it again. So if you're noticing, I've got our brand new Losi apparel on. We have brand new T-shirts, hooded sweatshirts, and baseball caps. So that will, they're already in the warehouse. They're putting them in the location now. So hopefully by first thing Monday morning, you could actually... First time in a long time, you can get some brand new Losi apparel.
Awesome. So I say we hit the 3 big ones. Oh, hold on. We got more YouTube. Awesome.
How does the FPV cage connect? Do you connect to the main battery or have a separate battery for the camera?
Okay, so the question is, how does the FPV cage mount? So basically, which I wish I would have had one here, the FPV cage is basically exactly what it sounds like. It's a cage. And there's 3 screws that basically you can mount the camera wherever you want on the vehicle, and you screw the cage right to the body or right to the wing, wherever you want to put it. Simple as that.
I kind of like it back in the back.
Get that full front shot. And then basically the camera actually has a real short lead. That's why we recommend the servo extension, and you basically plug it into the camera and it goes right into your receiver, and the battery that's in the car is what actually powers the camera. So you do not need an external battery for it.
Okay, so it just plugs into one of the empty channels on the which it looks like there's plenty on these.
Yeah, and continue to watch our Losi Facebook page because I believe next week we're going to be starting a series, just like we did with the Tenacity SCT. We're actually going to be doing one with the Tenacity MT, and that one we're going to go full-blown FPV on that and the Spectrum dashboard app. So we'll show you exactly how to, mount the camera, how to wire it, and the funny part about it is you could probably mount the camera, plug it in, and be ready to go within 5 minutes.
Okay.
It's that easy. It really is. I'm not an FPV guy, so I was a little worried about it. But then when they walked me through it, it was kind of like, oh, okay, that's it.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's it.
Okay. Do one more check. Well, actually, that was one of the questions I was going to bring up. When and where can you get this?
Okay, so this.
I know we mentioned the when, but
yes.
Hit it one more time at the end for any of our...
So basically, every local dealer that's out there who carries Losi products, will have this. Sales have been going great after we released it yesterday, and it should be available the last week in February.
Okay, and then the price was $399.
$399. Yep.
And then one more time, how fast does it go with the 3S?
It goes 50 plus out of the box. No gearing change. No special highfalutin battery, out of the box, 50 plus miles an hour, and within the next week or two, we're going to be doing a video series on this to see how fast we can get it to go.
With pretty minor stuff.
Pretty minor stuff. Yeah, we'll definitely do a pinion change, which is super easy on this. So we'll do that. We'll try a super high voltage, the best killer battery that we can get, which at the end of each video we'll list all the parts that we used on it. But and the one thing I will state, I guess is kind of like a disclaimer, is some people don't realize when they do this, but when you're going for the speed runs, you put the hardest gear on there, you put the biggest battery that you can in there, and you're taxing the motor and the ESC to its limits when you go for a full out speed run. So when you do your speed runs, just keep in mind, 1 or 2 passes, let everything cool down. Another 2 passes, let everything cool down, because the gearing that comes in the truck, out of the box, is basically for you to run, 5,000 LiPo for 20 minutes.
Yes, it's designed to where you can blast full,
exactly,
no problem.
and have a blast, but you're not going to get the top speed out of the vehicle on that gearing. So if you're going to do the top speed runs, just keep in mind that, things will get warm, things will get hot, as you're continually blasting down the road. Yep. So, yeah.
Awesome. Anything else you want to mention? I don't think we have any other questions.
I think
anything
that covers just about it.
Okay, cool. Well, once again, if we didn't cover anything and you're jumping on like right now, this video is obviously going to be live for a while. So just hop on there, watch the video again, and from me, from Scott, thanks for tuning in, and we will see you the rest of the day with several more lives with some of the stuff that goes through the air.
Yeah,
so.
Not as cool as the cars, though.
Okay.
So it's
you guys
put that plug in there.
You guys can be the judge of that. How about that?
All right, take care, guys.
Thanks.